She left her newborn baby at the hospital and walked away. 25 years later, that same baby stood between her and death, and she didn't even recognize him. On a cold, rainy night, a young woman named Grace gave birth to a baby boy. She was scared, alone, and completely unprepared for motherhood. The father had disappeared, her family had rejected her, and poverty stared her in the face. As the baby cried softly beside her, Grace made the hardest decision of her life. Before sunrise, she placed the baby gently on the hospital bed, whispered, "I'm sorry. I can't do this," and walked out without looking back. That baby was registered as Ethan, no mother's name, no father's name. Just a child left to fate. Ethan grew up in foster homes. Some were kind, some were cruel. He watched other children get adopted. While he stayed behind, each night, he asked the same question silently: why didn't my mother want me? Instead of becoming bitter, Ethan became driven. He studied hard, worked harder, and promised himself one thing: if the world abandoned me, I would still become someone. Years passed. Ethan became a medical doctor. Not just any doctor, an emergency surgeon. Saving lives became his purpose. Grace's life didn't turn out the way she imagined. The guilt never left her. She tried to forget, but memories followed her into every quiet night. At 50 years old, she was alone, sick, and struggling to survive. One evening, while crossing a busy road, Grace collapsed. People screamed, cars stopped, an ambulance arrived just in time. In the emergency room, a surgeon rushed in, calm, focused, professional. His name badge read, Dr. Ethan Miller. Grace lay unconscious as he fought to save her life. Hours later, she survived. When she finally opened her eyes, she saw Ethan standing beside her bed. She whispered weakly, "Thank you, doctor. You saved my life." Ethan froze. Something about her face felt familiar, a feeling he couldn't explain. After checking her records, his heart stopped. Her date of birth, her old hospital file. The truth hit him like lightning. This was his mother, the woman who abandoned him. Emotional climax. Grace noticed the change in his expression. "What's wrong?" she asked. Ethan's voice trembled as he said, "I was born in this hospital 25 years ago." Grace's eyes widened. No, please," she whispered. Tears streamed down her face as the realization crushed her. "You're my son." Ethan nodded. Silence filled the room. Grace broke down, crying uncontrollably. "I'm so sorry. I've lived every day regretting it." Ethan took a deep breath. "All my life, I wondered why my mother didn't love me," he said, "but today, I chose not to let hate decide who I am." He added softly, "I saved you. Because that's who I chose to become." Grace never stopped apologizing. Ethan never stopped healing. Sometimes, forgiveness doesn't erase the pain, but it frees the heart. Your past doesn't define who you become, and forgiveness is not for others. It's for your own peace. If stories like this teach you real-life lessons and touch your heart, subscribe so you don't miss the next one.